Welcome to the Pelican Brief with your host, David Tapp.
Welcome to the Pelican Brief. I am your host, David Tatman. In this episode, we will highlight the just completed Week 5 of the 2023 regular session of the Louisiana Legislature and a preview of what is ahead in Week 6. We are at about the halfway point of the regular session. To say that things are busy is an understatement. The pace is frenetic, with 25 legislative committee meetings scheduled for this week already. So we're going to talk about some of the major issues that we've been discussing throughout this session. There's a lot going on. If there's something specific you'd like me to cover, just post something on social media or send us an email and we'll be happy to include that. So one of the big issues in the Louisiana legislature is insurance. We have talked before on this show about the property insurance crisis in Louisiana. We had Jeff and Ben Albright come on and talk about some of the challenges that we have in the markets. And so there are several instruments moving through the process that are meant to address this very difficult property and more specifically homeowners market. So we'll start with House Bill 110 by Gabe Ferment from Pollock, Louisiana, which would require insurers to offer a fortified roof endorsement to upgrade a non-fortified home. That bill is out of the House and out of the Senate Insurance Committee. At this point, there are no Senate amendments. If that holds, this will be sent to the governor for action following a Senate floor vote. Remember, the fortified home program is something that Alabama has done very, very well, and it's about building back stronger. We know there are going to be more storms. We know that they continue to get stronger, and so the only way to really deal with that is to build better structures, and this is going to go a long way toward helping that to happen. Staying with the insurance subject matter, House Bill 183 by Representative Ferment prohibits assignment of benefits as it relates to property insurance. This is a major problem in our state that was recently highlighted by some activities of Apex Roofing and a law firm out of Houston, Texas. You'll hear more about that in the news, but this is a very important bill to stabilize our markets in Louisiana. Also on the insurance front, House Bill 298 by Representative Matthew Willard from New Orleans would require insurers to offer an actuarially justified discount for building or retrofitting to a fortified roof. This bill has passed the Senate Insurance Committee and now heads to the floor for a final vote. There's another important bill in insurance. That's House Bill 489 by Representative Huval from Breaux Bridge. It provides for a more open insurance rating system. It eliminates the prior approval portion of rate making in Louisiana and allows companies the ability to set their rates based on actuarial standards, and that's what's going to be important as we move forward. These are the kind of bills that should stabilize our market in Louisiana and help build back stronger. So another big bill that happened last week and will happen this week is House Bill 562 by Speaker Schexnayder from Gonzales sailed off the House floor last week with 74 votes. You only need 53 to pass the legislation, so it was a big win. However, the bill took some hostile amendments, and those amendments would phase out the program over the next 10 years. House Bill 562 will be heard in the Senate Revenue and Fiscal Affairs Committees this week, so stay tuned, more to come. One of the big things that happened last week was the House debated and passed the budget bill. This is the bill that basically sets out the spending for the state. It took most of the day on Thursday, but after some intense moments and some political games, the House moved the spending bill to the Senate. The House cut most of the governor's proposals, things like teacher pay raises. Now the Senate will work to try to fix what the House sent them. So the biggest issue and the biggest debate revolves around how the surplus and extra dollars will be spent. The UAL, or unfunded accrued liability of Louisiana's pension programs, has been a sore spot for many years. And the state is looking at, and the House is looking at, trying to address some of that debt. So the UAL is projected to be nearly $12 billion. So some House members feel like addressing that issue will save money in the long term and relieve some of the burdens on local governments and some of their liabilities. Teacher pay raises for now are out of the budget. Details are scarce in terms of what all of that might look like, but the process goes on, and we shall see how the Senate will address the budget. Remember, there's the whole issue relative to money with the spending cap. I think that there is pressure building on the legislature to pass a resolution to allow the legislature and the governor to exceed that spending cap and spend the nearly $1.8 billion in excess funds that are available. Only available if the spending cap is passed. In addition, there is mounting pressure from local governments in higher education to pass the measure because, of course, that allows money to flow into local governments. There are also some big contractors that support this measure, and so we'll see how that goes. The crux of that conversation will center around House Concurrent Resolution 3 by Senator Paige Cortez from Lafayette. That is the instrument that will lead the conversation. Conventional wisdom suggests that the Senate can and will muster the two-thirds vote needed to pass the resolution to bust the spending cap. But for now, the conversation just continues. Another big issue is carbon capture. So carbon capture is in the news and up for debate in Baton Rouge. Last week, the House Natural Resources Committee passed House Bill 120 by Nick Muscarello of Hammond, which would prohibit the state from permitting above-surface structures like well platforms in Lake Maurepas and Lake Pontchartrain. The committee also approved House Bill 267 by Representative Bill Wheat of Ponchatoula, which would place a 10-year moratorium on carbon capture projects on Lake Maurepas. Both bills go to the House for consideration. Considering we had a 5-hour committee meeting on those bills, the House floor will be lengthy on that day. Another major issue that is generating a lot of conversation is the legislative pay raise. It's been, I believe, since 1988 since the legislature has received a pay raise. The House and Governmental Affairs this past week, passed House Bill 149 by Representative Joe Marino of Gretna. The bill was amended in committee to reduce the pay raise from $60,000 per year to plus per diems to about $40,000 a year, and would be based on median family earnings for people in Louisiana. A bit of editorial here. The legislators currently make $16,800 per year plus per diems. It is considered to be a part-time job, but as somebody who works with legislators extensively, this is not a part-time job. This is a full-time job. When you're not in the legislature during legislative session, you're back in your district providing constituent services, helping people, paying attention to what's going on with local government. This is a full-time job. So if we want regular citizens to be able to run for the legislature, we need to pay them. And I think this is a good start. Remember, you can watch all of the action at the Capitol live or through archived videos of the proceedings. The state website is www.legis.la.gov. You can also just Google Louisiana Legislature and it will come up. You can also download the app if you want to work with your cell phone. The app, you go to your app store, it's LALEGE, and you will find it's just a great resource. Both of them are fantastic. As a lobbyist, I utilize the state website extensively. I love the app because it works better with your phone to be able to watch and listen to committee meetings and floor debates. And so if you want to tune in, you can tune in, or you can just check out our podcast every week where we give you an overview. We are the Pelican Brief. You can follow us on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our social media handle on all social media platforms is at Pelican Brief 225. You can also watch us on YouTube, and that handle is at the Pelican Brief 225. You can also listen to our program on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. So please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any issues that you think you would like us to dig deeper into, please let us know. You can post it in our feeds, or you can email our show, and our email is thepelicanbrief225@gmail.com. Until next week, we are the Pelican Brief.
The Pelican Brief is an off-script production.